For the blue flame shawl, we have to cast on 13 stitches from one stitch, and then we'll repeat. We have to know that we'll repeat only rows 29 to 52. So until row 29 we knit just once. Everything is like setup, a lot of setup rows. And what else? The chart is very large, wide, and I hope it will be okay and you will understand what I'm doing. So let's see. Like I said in the beginning, we cast on 13 stitches from one stitch. So as usual, I will use my usual cast on method for my shawls. You make a loop like this with the tail, working yarn above the tail, and we start to knit. Go with the needle inside this loop, this stitch, treat it like a stitch, and we knit, yarn over, knit, yarn over. So we have 4 stitches now on the needle. We continue until we have 13. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now you can let go of the tail, pull on it, and we have our 13 stitches. Now we slide the stitches to the other end, or you can turn the work, but I don't really like it like this on my right side, so I like it better like this. So I slide the stitches and I remain on the same side that I cast on. So now let's see in the chart, row number 1. Well, I won't explain the symbols, I will just show you and say what it means. So in the beginning and in the end, as a selvage stitch, everything that is in green, we have a knit stitch. After that, the repeat is slip on yarn over, knit 1. So let's do that and I'll explain what that means. So as I said, the selvage stitch is knit 1, let me focus better. After that, slip on yarn over means you go with the needle under the yarn and slip purlwise the next stitch. Knit 1. If you don't like to do that like this, it seems strange to you, you can do the yarn over and then slip purlwise the stitch. So it's kind of usual motions in knitting. Knit 1, and I have a split yarn here. Knit 1, and again, if you want to be more efficient, you go with the needle under the yarn and slip purlwise, and again knit 1, slip on yarn over, knit 1, slip 1 yarn over, or slip 1 with yarn over the needle, and knit 1, slip 1, yes, slip 1 yarn over, and in the end we have to knit the selvage stitch, the last selvage stitch. After that, slide the stitches to the other end. That's why you have to knit with dippy ends or circular needles. And after each you have to do this after each odd row. So after 1, 3, 5, and so on, you slide the stitches, and after the even rows we turn the work after 2, 4, 6, and so on. And now we pick up the contrast color yarn. I just usually put the tails together, and let's see, we have to knit row number 2. So in row number 2, the selvage stitch is a slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front, and after that we have the repeat brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over. So as you can see that again and again the same symbols. So let's knit and you'll see what I mean. So as I said, the selvage stitch is slip 1 purlwise with yarn in front. So I put the yarn in front of the work, but usually you will have it there. So now it's kind of all the stitches together, not so fun, but we'll do it. And now brioche purl means that you have to purl together the stitch and the yarn over from the previous row. So here I have the stitch and the yarn over. Now you don't really see it because it's all in main color, but after that in the next rows it will be one in main and one in contrast, and it will be easier to see. So brioche purl and slip 1 yarn over just like we did in the previous row. So I have my yarn, I go with the needle under the yarn and slip purlwise the stitch. After that again brioche purl, so purl together the stitch and the yarn over, or in brioche that's one stitch and you just purl it. Again slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, again and again, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, and in the end slip purlwise with yarn in front. So you put the yarn in front of the work and slip purlwise the selvage stitch. Now we can turn the work, pick up the main color yarn and begin row number 3. Let's see what we have to do there. So in row number 3 we have the selvage stitch, a purl stitch in the beginning and in the end, and then the repeat is almost like in row number 2, but not quite. In row number 2 we did brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over again and again, and in row number 3 we have to do slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl. So it's the same thing, but we start with a slip 1 yarn over. So let's do that. As I said, the selvage stitch is a purl 1. After that the repeat, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl. So slip 1 yarn over just like I showed you in row number 2, and brioche purl the same way. You just knit it again and again, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, brioche purl, slip 1 yarn over, and in the end we have to purl the selvage stitch. After that we slide the stitches to the other end, pick up the contrast color yarn, and we will knit row number 4. Let's see what we have to do in row number 4. So the selvage stitch is a slip 1 purlwise with yarn in the back, in the beginning and in the end of the row, and in between we have a brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over. So I will explain what brioche knit means. Let's slip purlwise with yarn in the back the selvage stitch. So brioche knit means you knit together the stitch and the yarn over. Until now we were brioche purling and we purl together the stitch and the yarn over, and now we are knitting and we are brioche knitting and we knit them together. So brioche knit, slip 1 yarn over, 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 brioche knit, slip purlwise with yarn in the back the selvage stitch. After that turn the work, pick up the main color yarn, and we start row number 5. And now it's getting interesting, because from this row we have the increases and decreases, and in row number 5 we have the 2 stitches increase in brioche. That's brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. So you see, in the beginning we have a brioche knit stitch column, as I call them because I draw them like this as columns. So brioche knit. After that, as I said, the increase, again brioche knit, and again the increase. So let me explain why it's happening like this. I have a swatch here. So see the chart and see the swatch. So in the swatch we have a brioche knit column that goes like this, and from this column go these flames, and then we have the central column, and we have 2 flames going on each side from this column. Here we have just one on one side. Here we have another brioche knit column and the flames that go from this column. So here's why the chart looks like that. So here we have the brioche knit column, that this is the central one that you saw here, and pay attention that in the center we have the 4 stitches increase. So this way we have 2 flames simultaneously starting. So we have from 1 stitch we will have 3 brioche knit stitches, and on the sides we have the brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. That's 2 stitches increase, because as I said we have only 1 flame coming out of that column. So out of 1 stitch we have 2 brioche knit stitches created. So let's do now row number 5. Knit the selvage stitch. In all of these rows that I show you with increases and decreases, we knit the selvage stitch in the beginning and in the end of the row. After that, slip on yarn over. Now the first brioche knit stitch is that column on the right side, so this one. Now it doesn't matter, but at some point you have to pay attention to do the increases here in the all of these 3 columns, so that new flames will be created. So brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here we do the increase. That's this point here in the chart. Brioche knit, don't slip the stitch from the needle, yarn over, brioche knit. When you have 3 stitches in the same color on your right hand needle, you slip the stitch from the needle. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit. This is that central column that we have in the chart, this one. After that, slip on yarn over, and we'll get again to this point where you have to increase. Brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. Slip the stitch from the needle. After that, slip on yarn over, and we got to this last column. Brioche knit. Slip on yarn over and knit the edge stitch in the end. After that, we slide the stitches to the other end, and as you can see, I hope you can see something in this chart. It's so small. Let me make it like this. So we did row number 5, and now after row number 5 you see in the chart row number 9. Why is that? Because after row number 5 you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4. So rows 6, 7 and 8 will be the same as rows 2, 3 and 4, and after each of these rows with the increases and decreases you will knit rows 2, 3 and 4. I will say it, but I already say that you have to do it. So now I would say that you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4, but I want to explain something different that happens here in row number 2 after you have done the increases in the previous row. So we start as usual row number 2, and we know that in this row we have to slip the selvage stitch, and then the repeat is brioche purl, slip on yarn over. So you start knitting, slip the edge stitch, and start the repeat. Brioche purl, slip on yarn over. Again, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and here we have those 3 stitches in the same color. That means in the previous row at this point we had the increase, so here we slip on yarn over, and instead of a brioche purl we just purl this stitch, so it's a stitch without the yarn over, and we purl it, and then continue the repeat. Slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, and again we have those 3 stitches. You can recognize them because they're in the same color. So here you slip on yarn over, but in the middle you don't brioche purl, so you don't take 2 stitches even if it's are there in the same color. You just purl 1 stitch without a yarn over or without another stitch. So after that you continue slip on yarn over, brioche purl, slip on yarn over, brioche purl, and then slip purlwise with yarn in front the selvage stitch. So that was row number 2. I showed it to you because you have to remember to do that exception when you have the increased stitches and purl instead of brioche purl. And after that you just knit rows 3 and 4 like I showed you previously, and then we will knit together row number 9. So in row number 9 we brioche knit those 3 columns in the center and on the sides, and then in between them we do 2 times the brioche knit yarn over brioche knit. That's the 2 stitches increase in brioche. So let's start knitting. Knit the selvage stitch, and as I said, so slip on yarn over, and as I said, brioche knit that column on the right, slip on yarn over, and here we have the, in row number 5 we did the increase. Here you can see from 1 stitch we have 2 stitches, and then in each of these 2 stitches we will increase again. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that central column that we have here in this chart, slip on yarn over, and again we already are here in the second half of the chart, and we increase brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip the stitch from the needle, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, again slip the stitch, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit that last column, that brioche knit column that we have there on the left, slip on yarn over, knit the selvage stitch, and as usual already you should know it, you have to knit rows 2, 3 and 4, and then I will explain row number 13. We start with the brioche knit in this right column. After that again brioche knit, 2 times we do the increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that brioche knit 1 column, 1 stitch. Then we have to brioche knit this central stitch, central column, and then on the left we have brioche knit 2 times the increase and brioche knit, and in the end brioche knit that last column. So let's do it. So in between it's, as usual, it's slip on yarn over. I just don't mention it because it's, you can do without it. Knit the selvage stitch, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that right column, slip on yarn over, and here we brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and then we do 2 times the increase. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 1 stitch, 1 column, slip on yarn over. This is the central column that we have in the chart. We just brioche knit it. After that, slip on yarn over, and we get to the part on the left, and there we have to brioche knit 1 stitch, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increase, so you can see we have 4 stitches coming from we had 2 and then now we have 4. So on the sides we brioche knit and in the middle we increase. Brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on, yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. Slip the stitch from the needle, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit 1, and we finished the left side, and then we have in the end we slip on, yarn over, and we have that left column, slip brioche knit, again slip on, yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. After that, as usual, you have to knit by yourself rows 2, 3, and 4. Don't forget about those increases. So here where you have these 3 stitches in the same color, in the middle you will purl instead of brioche purl when you knit row number 2, like I showed you. And then we will I will come back and I will show you how to knit row number 17. In row number 17 we brioche knit this first column, and then in between the central and the right side we have to brioche knit 2 column, increase 2 times, and brioche knit 2, and the same thing here. Let's do it. Knit the selvage stitch, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on, yarn over, and then in between these columns. So here's the central one, here's that on the right. Here, as I said, we have to brioche knit 2 columns, increase in the middle, so brioche knit 1, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on, yarn over, in the middle 2 brioche stitches are increased, so brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit again, slip on, yarn over, and here before the central stitch, the central column, we brioche knit 2 columns, brioche knit, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on, yarn over, and we brioche knit that central stitch. After that, again slip on, yarn over, and we brioche knit 1, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on, yarn over, again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on, yarn over, and here we brioche knit the rest of the columns, the stitches. 1, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on, yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on, yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. So as usual, after this row you knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then I will explain row number 21. In row number 21 we already have the decreases, the left slant decrease and the right slant decrease, and I want to show you something on my swatch. On this right side of the shawl we have only left slant decreases, so you see here all the decreases are leaning to the left, even if they go to the right after that. And on the left side of the shawl we have the right slant decreases. See, they're leaning to the right, and after that going to the left, but that doesn't matter. So just a hint, if it may help you, until you get to the central stitch on the right side you do left slant decreases, and after the central stitch you do right slant decreases. And now in this row I will show you how to knit the one and the other. So let's see in the chart now what we have to knit. So we have, well, these columns doesn't really look interesting. It will be interesting in the next row. You see we have the increases. Now it's just a brioche knit stitch. After that, inside the columns, these let's say flames panel, on the right side we have 4 brioche knit stitches, and then the left slant decrease. As I said, on the right side we have left slant decreases, and on the right side we have on the left side we have right slant decreases. So here we have brioche knit 4, left slant decrease, brioche knit 2 stitches, then the central stitch, and this here is like mirrored the right side mirrored to the left. So we have 2 brioche knit stitches, right side decrease, and then 4 brioche knit stitches in the end. So let's knit. Knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that column on the right, slip on yarn over, and then we start that flames panel. So as I said, we brioche knit 4, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, and here we have the left slant decrease. For that, slip knitwise the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, or the next 3 normal stitches if you count the yarn over as a stitch, but in brioche the stitch with the yarn over is 1 stitch, so we have 2 brioche stitches, and we knit them together. After that, we just pass over that slipped stitch with the yarn over that comes with, and that's it. That's the left slant decrease, and you can pull on the tail on the yarn a little bit too. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and we get to that central stitch. We brioche knit that 2, slip on yarn over, and as I said, so here we did brioche knit 4, decrease brioche knit 2, and here, since it's the mirror, we brioche knit 2, do the opposite decrease, so that's the right slant decrease, and I will explain how to do that. Slip knitwise the brioche stitch, that means the stitch and the yarn over, knit the next stitch, pass over the slipped stitch and the yarn over also, slip the stitch to the left needle and pass over the next brioche stitch, that means the stitch and the yarn over. After that, slip the stitch to the right needle and pull a little bit. So after that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 4, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, and in the end we have that left column, brioche knit column. We brioche knit it, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. So that was row number 21. After that, as usual, you will knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll come back for row number 25. In row number 25, we continue with the decreases in the middle, but the most important is the increases that we have here in these 3 columns, on the sides and in the center. On the sides we have the brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and in the center we have the brioche 4 stitches increase. I will show you how to do that, but just pay attention to knit them. Well, now it's this row is knit just once, but as you can see here in row number 49, this one is the last of the repeating rows, so pay attention to knit it at that point. Sometimes I forgot to do that. I just knit because we knit in all the rows, and then if you forget to do it, you have to come back and redo it, undo it and redo it. So better to pay attention and not do it in the first place. So let's see what we have here. So as I said, we increase in the column, in the right column. After that, brioche knit 3, left slant decrease, brioche knit 2. In the middle, as I said, brioche 4 stitches increase, and then since it's the mirror, we start with 2 brioche knit stitches, right slant decrease, and after that 3 brioche knit stitches and the increase in the end. And now let's knit. So knit the selvage stitch, after that slip on yarn over, increase here in the first column, so brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, after that slip on yarn over, and we have to brioche knit 3 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over. And here we do the left slime decrease. As I said, on the right side we do the left slime decreases. So slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, and we brioche knit 2 columns. 1, slip on yarn over, and 2, slip on yarn over, and we get to the central column, and here we do the 4 stitches increase. So brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and again yarn over, brioche knit. And when you have 5 stitches on your needle, you can slip the stitch from the left needle. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, that's 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and here we do the right slime decrease. Slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next stitch, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, pass over the next brioche stitch, and slip the stitch to the right needle. And we have the right slime decrease. After that, slip on yarn over and brioche knit 3 columns. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and in the end, as I said, in this last column also we do the increase brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. And then, as usual, you have to come back to rows 2, 3, and 4 and work them. And after that, we will knit row number 29. Before starting to knit row number 29, let me explain a little bit what happens here in the chart. So as usual, this black frame in my charts and usually in charts means the part that you have to repeat in the pattern. And why I have 2? Because on each side we have to repeat a part of the stitches, and then the rest goes is worked one time before the this central column. And sorry, and we do the same thing on the other side. We work again and again the same thing we have here inside this black frame, and after that we have just a few stitches left and we work them as we have to do, as the chart shows those symbols outside the black frame. So now I'm knitting the first time this row number 25, but when you will do it the next time, like here in my swatch for example, so row 25 is here at the 3rd decrease. So I have 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So this is row number 25, and let's say that we start to knit it. So this part from the decrease, this is the repeat. There you go. So we have to, since I have already 3 repeats here, and if you work according to the chart, you will repeat the same thing that I have here in the black frame again and again. So once in the beginning you just knit this brioche knit column. After that you start the repeat. So you repeat this part, and then you come back to the beginning of the chart. Let me make it bigger. So, and then you come back again to the beginning, you knit again everything. That will be the 2nd repeat. Again from the beginning, from this point you knit the 3rd repeat, and then you get to this point and you have to do this 3. You'll have 3 stitches, you'll do the increase here, and you get to the central stitch. And then if you look at the chart, when you get to that central column, after that we have another repeat starting. So you will, when you get to as many as repeats as I have here or more, in row number 25, you will do the same thing. You start from the stitch next to the column, you start the repeat stops here, and you do it once. You knit all the symbols in the chart. After that, you start again, you knit, and then you start again, you knit, and in the end you have just a few stitches left. I show you in the chart, and in parallel I show you on my swatch, so you understand how this repeating works. So in the end you have just a few stitches, and you knit them once, and you finish the row. So let's knit it and you'll see. And now that I have a little bit of too much stitches for my short DPNs, I will start knitting with my circulars. And well, let's see what we have here. Okay, so as I said, we are starting row number 25. And I didn't say it, or maybe I said it in the beginning. So this on the horizontal, you can see how many stitches are in the repeat. It's like that asterisk, and it's like the asterisk in the written instructions. Asterisk, I don't know. Well, on the horizontal, you see how many stitches you have inside the repeat, and on the vertical, the black frame tells you how many rows you have to repeat. So we repeat for this pattern everything that we need until this point is knit just once, and after that, from this row to the row 52, you see here row 49, but after that, as usual, we have rows 2, 3, and 4. That means rows 50, 51, and 52. So from row number 29 to row number 52, you'll repeat again and again until you have the desired size of the shawl. So now we start row number 29, and we see here we have to brioche knit that column. Inside the repeat, we have increase, brioche knit 2, left slant decrease, brioche knit 2, and that's the end of the repeat. If you want to, you can place a marker. I will too, just to explain better how you can do it. And in the end, after all the repeats, like I explained previously, you repeat again and again as many times as you have in your work at the current point, and then you knit these stitches once, brioche knit that central column, and from this point you start again repeating in the left part of the shawl. So again and again, and repeat, we have brioche knit yarn over brioche knit 2 stitches, right slant decrease, and again brioche knit 2, and then after all the repeats, in the end you brioche knit one, brioche knit yarn over brioche knit, and brioche knit 1 column. So let's knit it, and it will be easier to understand everything. Let's focus. We start with the selvage stitch, knit 1, then slip on yarn over, and we start with an increase here. Oh no, that's the column from the right side, so we brioche knit it, and then we have the increase. So after this point, you see here we brioche knit this column, and here and that repeating part is starting, so we start the repeat. I don't think that we should put a marker. If you want, you can place a marker here also, but I will place it only at the end of the repeat. So here we start the repeat. Slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, brioche slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, left slant decrease here. So you see we kind of, it goes one after another. So here we have the first one, here the second one, and here we'll have the third. So slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit we have the left slant, so we knit together the next 2 brioche stitches and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, so that's 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, and here is where our repeat stops, and we can place a marker here. And you know that maybe we can place a marker here in the beginning also, just to make it the most clear possible. So here is the beginning of the repeat. As I said, 1, you have this brioche knit column on the side. After that, we place the marker, and this is the repeat. So inside between the markers, you repeat again and again what we did until now. After that, when you get to the marker, that means you finished all the repeats, and in the end you slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and we get to the central column, central stitch. We brioche knit this stitch, and here we start the second repeat, the one that we have on the left side. So let me place markers here also so that you don't get confused. So we start the repeat at this point, and let's work that repeat. Slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, that's 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over. Now we have to knit the right slant decrease, so for that, slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, and pass over the next brioche stitch. After that, slip the stitch on the right needle, and we have finished the right slant decrease. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, and here is where our second time the repeat finishes. So from here to here, in between these, the second pair of markers, you will repeat everything we did right now, what we have on the left side of the chart. And after all the repeats are finished, we slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and brioche knit that last column, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. And I don't need that anymore. So here's how my shawl looks like, and you see that that's why I start with the DPNs as much as I can. I do on DPNs because I have that noise from the circulars. So this is how it looks like, kind of like a butterfly. So that was row number 29. After that, as usual, you knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll knit together row number 33. In row number 33, you have to work the following steps. You brioche knit the that column on the right. After that, 2 times 2 stitches increase, brioche knit, left slant decrease, 2 brioche knit stitches, and that's the end of the repeat. So from here to here you repeat the same thing. Well, now you'll do it once, but the next time you'll do it twice, then thrice, and so on. So after that, after all the repeats, you brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, and then you get to that central stitch, you brioche knit that, and here we have the repeats on the left side of the shawl. 2 times brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, 2 brioche knit columns, right slant decrease, 1 brioche knit, and that's the end of the repeat. And then you brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, and in the end you brioche knit that column on the left. So let's knit what I just said. Knit the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit that column, and we start the repeat. So now really the first time that we need these rows from row number 29 to 49, we don't really need the markers, but I put them just to make you understand what you will do the next time you need these rows. I will explain it better after the row number 49, where we have to need again row number 25. We will adjust the place of the markers and you will see what I mean. Maybe it will be clearer at that point. So after in the repeat in this row we have to, as I said, slip on yarn over and brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times. 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over. Here you see that we continue this line of decreases. So the left slant decrease here on the right side of the shawl, slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches and pass over the slipped stitch. Slip on yarn over. After that, we brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip on yarn over, and 2. And that's the end of the repeat. So if you have more repeats, maybe you're re-watching this row with many repeats on your needles, you just do this as many times as you need, and then after that you slip on yarn over and do 2 times the brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit here. So I thought that I had some mistake, but no, it's okay. Brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, and we have this central stitch. Just brioche knit it, and we have the start of the repeat on the left side of the shawl. And in that repeat you have to slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, so that's once, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, and we brioche knit 2 columns, so that's 1, slip on yarn over, 2, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and here we continue the line of the decreases and we do the right slant decrease. So slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle and pass over the next brioche stitch that you have on the needle, slip the stitch to the right needle and slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1. And that's the end of the repeat here on the left side of the shawl. You do as many repeats as you need, as many as you have in your work at your current point. And after that, in the end, you just slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit once, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit twice, slip on yarn over, and in the end, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. So that was row number 33. This is what we have at this point. After that, you knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll continue with row number 37. In row number 37, we start with the brioche knit column, and then inside the repeat part on the left side we have brioche knit, then brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, brioche knit, left slant decrease, brioche knit 2 times, and then after all the repeats, in the end we have to brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, and again brioche knit, and then we get to the central stitch. Here we have inside the repeat brioche knit 2 times the increase brioche knit, yarn over brioche knit, then 3 brioche knit columns, and a right slime decrease. And at this point the repeat ends. And after all the repeats for this row, you brioche knit 2 times the increase, brioche knit, and in the end brioche knit that column on the left. So let's start knit all of this. Let's get some focus, and we start by knitting the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, then we brioche knit that column on the right, and we have the repeat starting at this point. And the repeat looks like this: slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increases: brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and again slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over. After that, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, and here we do the left slime decrease. So for that, slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, and I have like this. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2 stitches, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, and at this point we have the end of the repeat part. So it finishes with the flame here. If you have more repeats, you just do that again and again. In the end, slip the marker, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip the stitch from the needle, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1 stitch, and slip on yarn over, and here is the central stitch, brioche knit, and we have the repeat here on the left side of the shawl, and we have the markers for that repeat. So now slip the marker, and we start the repeat on the left side, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over. Here we do the increases: brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1 stitch, slip on yarn over, and then 2 more stitches, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and now we have to do the right slime decrease, slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next brioche stitch, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, pass over the next brioche stitch, and slip the stitch to the right needle. And that's the end of the repeat. So if you have more repeats, you just start over in the chart from where the from the central stitch, and until this point. After you have knit all of your repeats, you slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over. Here we do the 2 increases: brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip on yarn over, and here in the end brioche knit 2 columns: 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and in the end knit the selvage stitch. And this is what we have at this point. So after this row, as usual, you knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we will knit row number 41. In row number 41, we start with a brioche knit. Inside the repeat, we have 2 brioche knit, stitches, 2 increases, 2 brioche knit, a left slend decrease, 1 brioche knit, and here the repeat stops, ends. And then after all the repeats you have to brioche knit 2 columns, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit 2 times, brioche knit 2 columns, and you get to the central stitch. And then you get to the repeat on the left side after brioche knitting the central stitch, and you brioche knit 2 stitches to do 2 increases, brioche knit 2 stitches, 3 actually, and a right slend decrease, and that's the whole repeat. After all the repeats are done, you brioche knit 2 stitches, do 2 increases, brioche knit 3 stitches in the end, 2, and then 1 of the column of the left on the left. So let's knit all of that right now. Start by knitting the selvage stitch. After that, slip one yarn over, knit that column on the right, and we start the repeat. And as I said, the repeat is slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, that's 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over. After that we have the increases here at this point, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and after that we have 2 brioche knit columns, 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and then here we have the left slend decrease, slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, and this is the end of the repeat. So again and again and again and again. After that, slip the marker, and we have some stitches to work once before that central stitch and before we pass to the repeat on the left side of the shawl. So we do a slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over. Here we do the increases, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, and again slip one yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2 columns, 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and we get to that central stitch. We brioche knit that also, and we start the repeat on the left side of the shawl. We slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, and here we do the increases, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 3, and slip one yarn over, and here we do the right slend decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, and pass over the next brioche stitch, slip the stitch to the right needle, and that's it with the repeat on the left side of the shawl. If you have more repeats, you just knit them, work all of the repeats, and after that you work once the stitches in the end of the row. Slip one yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip one yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip one yarn over. Here we do the increases, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and again brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and we brioche knit all the columns in the end. Slip one yarn, brioche knit, slip one yarn over, again brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and again brioche knit, slip one yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch in the end of the row. And this is how the shawl looks like at this point. After that, as usual, you have to knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll knit row number 45. In row number 45, we start with a brioche knit, and then inside the repeat we have 4 brioche knit stitches, a left slend decrease, 2 brioche knit, a left slend decrease. After that the repeat ends, and we have to knit once brioche knit, 4 brioche knit stitches, a left slend decrease, 2 brioche knit stitches, and we get here to the center stitch that we brioche knit, and then we start the repeat on the left side of the shawl, and here we have brioche knit 2, right slend decrease, brioche knit 4, a right slend decrease. You repeat that again and again as many times as needed, and then you knit once 2 brioche knit, a right slend decrease, and 5 brioche knit stitches, including the column on the left. So let's knit all of that. We start by knitting the selvage stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, knit the column, that column on the right side, and we start the repeat on the right side of the shawl, and we slip on yarn over, and as I said, brioche knit 4. So that's 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over. Here we do the left slend decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches and pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and here we do again the left slend decrease, so slip knit twice, knit together, pass over, and that's it. After that, repeat again and again as many times, slip the marker and knit once these stitches before that central stitch. So slip 1 yarn over, brioche knit 4, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over. Here we do the left slend decrease, slip knit twice, knit the next 2 brioche stitches, pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and we got to the central stitch, and we brioche knit that also, and we start the repeat here on the left side of the shawl, and the repeat goes like this: slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over. Here we do the right slend decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle and pass over the next brioche stitch. After that, slip the stitch to the right needle, and there it is. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, and here we do the right slend decrease, slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next one, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle and pass over the next brioche stitch, slip the stitch to the right needle. And this is the last stitch that we have to knit in the repeat. You repeat again all of these steps, and in the end you knit once the following: slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2. Let me get it like this. After that, slip on yarn over. Here we do the right slend decrease, so slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next stitch, pass over, slip to the left needle, pass over, slip to the right needle. After that, slip on yarn over and just brioche knit all the stitches that you have left, and we have 5 brioche stitches, including that last column on the left side of the chart. So 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 5, slip on yarn over, and knit the selvage stitch. And this is how it looks like. And after that you have to knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and then I will show you how to knit the last row for the shawl that you'll repeat again and again. Row number 49. In row number 49, it's important to not forget about the increases here in these 3 columns. I already said it previously, but I will repeat it now. We have a brioche knit, yarn over brioche knit in the beginning and in the end, so 2 stitches increase on the sides, and we have a brioche 4 stitches increase in the middle, in the central stitch. And besides that, we have the usual repeat inside of each of these flames panel, let's call it like that. So inside of this we have the repeat. On the right side, the repeat is brioche knit 3, left slant decrease, brioche knit 3, and then the end you repeat again and again just these. And after that you have to brioche knit 3, left slant decrease, brioche knit 2 one time before the central stitch, and then you get to the repeat on the left side. Here you repeat, your repeat is the following: brioche knit 2, right slant decrease, brioche knit 4. So repeat that again and again, and in the end you brioche knit 2, right slant decrease, brioche knit 3, and that increase that I said about in the beginning. So let's start knitting this last row. Knit the selvage stitch, slip on yarn over. Don't forget about the increase. I repeat again about this because I myself forgot about it and then had to rip some rows and come back, or yeah, you can't do otherwise, not when you have to increase. So increase, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that we start the repeat, and as I said, on the right side the repeat is brioche knit 3, so slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over. Here we do the left slant decrease, slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, like this. Then slip the stitch, pass over the stitch that we slipped, and we have the left slant decrease. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, and this is the end of the repeat. If you have more, you start again, and after you have finished all the repeats, slip the marker and knit, work the following: slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, left slant decrease, so slip, knit twice the brioche stitch, knit together the next 2 brioche stitches, pass over the slipped stitch. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, and we get to this central stitch. We increase here by 4 stitches, so brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. When you have 5 stitches on the needle, you can slip the stitch, and the marker means that we start the repeat on the left side of the shawl. So on the left side we have slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, right slant decrease, So slip knit twice the brioche stitch, knit the next stitch, pass over the slipped stitch, slip the stitch to the left needle, pass over the next brioche stitch, slip the stitch to the right needle, and that's it. And after that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 4, and we finished the repeat. And after that, you come back again to the start of the repeat, do it again all over, and after you have completed all the repeats, slip the marker and work once the following: slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, right slant decrease, so slip knit twice, knit the next stitch, pass over, slip to the left needle, and I have split my yarn. After that, pass over, slip to the right needle, and that's it. After that, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 1, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 2, slip on yarn over, brioche knit 3, slip on yarn over, and that last column on the left, we have to do a brioche knit, yarn over, brioche knit. After that, slip on yarn over and knit the selvage stitch. So this is how, sorry for the noise, so this is how the knitting looks like at this point. Let me maybe get some focus too. No, it's okay. And after this row, you knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and after that you have to start again from row number 29. So I'll just knit rows 2, 3, and 4, and I'll come back when I have to knit again row number 29, and we'll see what changes we have to make with the markers. So this is how my work looks like after finishing row number 52. So now I have to start again row number 29, and since I placed the markers, I wanted to explain what happens now. Here's my second one, there it is. So if we start to knit according to the chart, we have to knit, so the first marker is placed. We have to adjust the place of the marker. The marker or the start of the repeat goes after the brioche stitch, the first brioche stitch that we have in this row. So I'm placing now my marker. If you have the ring type, you just knit until, well, you place another one at this point when you knit, and just remove that one that you had there. And so this is the first, that's where the repeat starts, and the repeat finishes if you're looking at the central stitch, and we see in the chart that the repeat finishes 3 stitches before that brioche knit column, or in our knitting it's so 3, that's the central stitch, 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, and the marker should be here. And now when you will knit this row, you will have to repeat 2 times this part inside of the black frame to cover all the stitches inside between the markers. So you'll knit that once, and then twice, and then you knit once the stitches out that are not inside the repeat, brioche knit the central stitch, and that's adjust the place of the markers on the left side. So the first marker again should be right next to this central stitch, so its place is here, And the last marker should be 3 stitches before that last brioche knit column. So this is the last brioche knit column, 1, 2, 3, and the marker goes here. Or if you want to count all the stitches from the end of the row, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. So the marker should be placed at this point. And now here also, when you will knit, you will have to do 2 times the part of the chart inside the black frame. So the repeat is 2 times. When you will knit this row again the 3rd time, you will knit that part 3 times, and so on and so on. So now I'm removing my markers because they're making a lot of noise, and I want to show you how I usually bind off, that simple bind off that I do in brioche. If you want to, you can do the I-cord bind off. It looks very nice also, but I have it in my video. Maybe I'll put in here somewhere the link to it. And so now I'll show you my usual bind off, the simple one. I just knit the knit stitches and purl the purl stitches. So knit, purl, and pass over. And you should knit the stitches a little bit looser than usual, or you can use a bigger needle than the one that you knit the shawl, and this way you'll have loose bind off, and when you block the shawl you won't have the end row that will not allow you to block it properly. So again, I knit, pass over, I purl, pass over, I knit, and pass over. You see the stitches are loose, and purl, and pass over, and you do that until the end of, until you finish all the stitches. So after this, just to get those beautiful peaks, you have to block the shawl. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you like the video, and maybe push the notification button if you want to be notified when I publish another video.